so it's not actually the title that suggests that it's the last work. It's just the fact that I'm going to have some time off that suggests that it's the last work. It's quite a dramatic title though, isn't it? The last work is a sound installation that uses a video as an add-on component. So I think of it more as a sound installation than a video installation, because the video seems secondary, like it's a support for the sound, and the sound takes up most of the space because it's audible. It takes up, say, 80% of the space, where the video is very small and it's hidden around a corner, so it probably takes up 1% of the visual space. So I wouldn't call it a video installation, I'd call it a sound installation. It's a walk from my studio to home, with the camera pointing at the sky, always looking up. It's 37 minutes long and it's one single shot. And during the 37 minutes, I illustrate things that I would think about on a normal walk from my studio to my home. So it puts the spectator in the position of the artist in some ways. It also attempts to, but I don't know if it succeeds, in sort of deconstructing some of the myths and the romance around stereotypes of what it is to practice, to make art and to be an artist. The romanticisation of the studio. It does it quite simply by, instead of talking about poetics like a lot of work does, it talks about the way the work is constructed, the work as a construct, and the way it explains the way that the spectator can be manipulated by the artist. The narration of the video is my words but not spoken by me. So there's a voice of a young woman, and it was recorded in a recording studio, 2 separate recording studios, and she was in one studio and I was in another studio, and we both wore headphones, so she could repeat exactly what I would say, but my voice wouldn't be recorded. So in a way, she represents me, or she is me, but there's a confusing mix of tenses where she says, I am, he is, at different times, so the spectator's never sure which one of us is speaking. But in actuality, it's completely constructed, it's a script, so it's not an improvised thing at all, although it sounds quite improvised. I didn't really want to appear in the work because I'm not really interested in artists that make work about their particular situation. How would I describe my own work? I'd describe my own work as I'd hope that the spectator, or that the people, my spectators, would be interested in the practice, the idea of a continuing body of work and a way of practicing and a way of making work, rather than being interested in singular things like, oh, this is a good work and then this is a bad work, this is a good work. I think it's more important to trust an artist and to see the way a trajectory or the way that practice moves in through time. I think that's really important. It's really difficult to categorise your work, because one day I could be making a piece of jewellery, then the next day I could make a music video, the next day I could open a restaurant. You just don't know what you're going to do. Sometimes I think it'd be easy to be a painter, because you'd get up every morning and you'd know you were going to make a painting. But I don't think I'd find that very rewarding. I don't think it's particularly interesting. so I guess it's ideas based. It starts with an idea, and the way that the work manifests itself is always based on the idea. The idea is paramount. The idea is the start to everything. I'd like to say it was conceptual art, but as soon as you put any words, you relate any words to what you do, you just start to feel embarrassed. It's like being in a bar and being asked what you do as a profession, someone who doesn't know you, and saying, I'm an artist. Personally, I never say I'm an artist. I always say I'm a teacher. For me, the audience is everything, I think. It's not the easiest work to get into or to find out about. And that's why I said before, I think I've got a really nice audience. I think all artists have their own audience. I think the audience that I have are really nice because they're audience that have to invest a lot of time and energy into the work to get anything back from it. It's not work that has a 3-second buzz. It's not like a neon sign that's bing with one word. It's very complicated, and it's complicated to make, and that's why works that I make take a long time to make, because there's thousands and thousands of decisions to make. I mean, from the first decision of what would it be, it could be a painting, but if it is a painting, do I paint it, or does my father paint it, or do I pay someone to paint it? And then if I pay someone to paint it, what's significant about the history of that person? I mean, the decisions are just endless and endless because you have to question everything, every point of the work. But it's nice that the audience invest as much as the person that makes it. You see, the work isn't complete without the spectator anyway. Because it's almost like the spectator is always the piece that's missing with this type of work. I always feel like I get criticised for hiding too much or having clues or keys or secrets that you need to be able to understand or unlock the work, you know? But it's not really like that, because I have my key or my part of the work, missing piece of the work. But if I give you my missing piece of the work, you wouldn't understand it because it's mine. And that's the thing that is really magical, is that each spectator has to bring their own missing piece. And it's something from their life. It's something that they've accumulated over time. And each person's missing piece is completely different. And then the work becomes completely different works because of the person that's seeing it. Leaving the work open, it's not selfish, and it's not really it's not making the work exclusive. It's actually more generous because it means anyone can access the work. As long as they're honest and as long as they put energy and time into the work, everyone can get anything from it. So actually it's really fair. I'm taking a break because, not because of overproduction, just because I work every day. I work 12 hours a day every day, and I've done about 50 shows in the last 12 months. And I've made about 20 new works, and the work that I make takes a long time to make, and I'm really tired. I want to buy a house, and I want to cook risotto, and I want to go to the south of France, and I want to have babies, and yeah, art's really nice, but not if you work every day and you're on a plane every 4th day. It's not enjoyable at all. It becomes really depressing.